Shalom. This is an emergency broadcast alert giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rekakadash, in whom we are in great debt. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well, continue doing so, standing firm in the eyes of terror, who I learned this truth from. To the elders, the bishops, Akim Nakwab, salutations and blessings to the house of David. We are the hopeful elect. This is your brother Kwazi Yao, another quick one. And this video is based on a video that Apostle Tahar made on Nero and Trump, deep hatred for Jake. And the reality of Trump is that he is actually saying one thing and he's doing something else. And even the way they moving, according to his AI movement, even they're hiding. Google is part of their agenda when you're looking things up too, because they hide stuff from you. Now, Salakia for all the noise that is going outside, I have no control of that. But the reality of this is that I found, I just went into Google and I went into Yahoo for different answers. So let's go into the Apostles video and go and wait till the point where he mentions, police state.
Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakudah. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm gonna entitle this video Nero's and Trump's hatred for the Jews and Christians. When I say Jews and Christians, I mean the real Jews, the tribe of Judah, or the kingdom of Judah, which was left in Palestine, the Middle East, the Levant, and the other tribes were, pursuant to prophecy, was sent over here by ships to the Americas, Canada, the U.S., Central and South America. So there was 10 tribes. Dan was a part of that. Dan, now we don't know what happened with Dan. Dan had to be mingled among the other tribes. We can only speculate on that. And I say that because Yahushai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, he did not mention the tribe of Dan in Revelation chapter 7. So when you go into the history books and you read about the Christian Jews and the Christians, it's talking about Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and a few of the tribes that stayed with Judah or Yahweh. And Christians are not, it's not a religion that you born at, oh, I was born a Christian. A Christian is an Israelite, a Judite, Yahweh, that accepted the Messiah. He's a fulfillment, as the Old Testament speaks about the Messiah. These were Israelites that accepted the Messiah 2,000 years ago. They said, yes, we believe that he's the Messiah, which was prophesied to come, as opposed to the Jews, which didn't believe.
And all that noise that's going outside is spiritual, man. That is spiritual. We're in the midst of chaos, and most people don't realize that what's going on.
So you see what Trump is doing, man. And we said this months back. We came up against the Latin tribes. Issachar, the Venezuelans, and he'd grab any Latin tribe. He don't care what they are, and because he said they're all illegal. So he's putting them in cages, alligator, Alcatraz, which you got 80% plus percent of the people. There's mysterious sickness going on. What else? I believe he's not even feeding them right, letting them starve.
This is from The Guardian, right? It says multiple reports from detainees, attorneys, and news source claim a mysterious respiratory illness, possibly COVID-19, is spreading through a newly opened immigration detention center in the Florida Everglades, dubbed Alligator Alcatraz. Detainees describe symptoms such as fever, cough, and shortness of breath, according to The Guardian. And if you keep someone in their own feces in around swampy area with out clean water and pretty much breathing all that nonsense, and then on top of that you might just throw a cocktail of something you might have made up, who knows. Yeah, they're gonna start coughing and coming up with weird shit.
He has a deep, dark hatred. Hey, this. Hey, if you want to personify Revelation 13, verse 11, we say that that's talking about Babylon the Great, America, but you can when I say personify, mean it, put it into a person.
Look up how did what's his name? How did Dr. Sabi got sick in prison when he was extremely healthy, and they locked him up, and a few days after he was locked up, he came up with a disease, or look that up.
That's him. That's him. You can even call him the Antichrist now. And you notice when Barack Obama became president, Edomites started calling him, the Bible Belt Edomites started calling him he got to be the Antichrist. Well, Trump, nobody's calling him the Antichrist. Matter of fact, I'm going to ask the question. Is he the Well, we know the Antichrist, there's no such thing as one Antichrist. But if you want to put it into one body, you can say, yeah, that's Trump. I ain't gonna say that. Okay, let me see. Right, so this here says police state Trump's takeover of DC angers residents. Police state Trump's takeover of DC angers residents. Trump puts DC police under federal control. This is what I call a police state. Now, chat, and I even went to Google. Let me see something. Let me do this again. I spelled this wrong. Is DC under a police state? Now watch him say no. No! Washington, D.C. is not under a police state, though recent actions by the president have raised concerns about federal control of local law enforcement, excuse me. While President Trump has placed the D.C. police under federal control for a limited time, well, limited time could be 20 years compared to forever, right? And deployed the National Guard, this is a temporary measure and does not signify a permanent shift to a police state.
So I looked up what constitute or Salakia, give me a second. Because Google, you gotta feed it you feed a baby, right? You gotta get the right words. So, for a baby, you gotta get the right milk because the baby is kind of funny, So, what constitute a police state? A police state is a political system often defined by dictatorial rule where authority is concentrated in the hands of an individual, family, political party, or military.
But currently, is this a police state according to the definition? Yes. But they're saying, oh, it's temporary, it's limited. So it's not.
Salakia, Elder, I got another one. Where is it? Salakia, where is it? Here it is. The meaning of a police state is a political unit characterized by representative government control of political, economic, and social life, usually by an arbitrary exercise of power by police and especially secret police in places of regular operations of administrative and judicial organs of the government according to the publicly known legal procedures. Right? That's what he's doing. That's exactly what Trump's doing.
Not really a police state. Let me do this here. No, you can't say it's a police state. He hates Israelites. He hates the Israelites. That's a topic right there. Police state. 7 times you come across the word police state. American Community Media, the taking of Washington, D.C., prelude to a police state. Trump takes over D.C. police in an extraordinary move. CNN, Trump deploys the National Guard and declares federal. Got to open that up 3 days ago. The city's status as a district. Now the state allows the president and in turn the federal government more leeway in directing troops. Yeah, because the District of Columbia is just that. It's the DC is just that. White House claimed of DC police. Chief Power but Capitol 10 hours ago. Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser wrote on social media that there is no statute that conveys this district personal authority to a federal, which I'm not going to open it up. DC is